And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 516. Today is Tuesday, December 10th, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday. And today's top stories: hackers can jack Shapeshift's crypto wallets in 15 minutes, Kraken warns. Ledger X places founders on leave following public CFTC woes. JP Morgan blockchain payments network eyes January. Japan launch. BNY Mellon and Credit Suisse involved in Telegram's $1.7 billion sales being reported. And Ticketmaster wants to use smart contracts to support millions of ticket sales. But of course, first, let's go ahead and get these prices on the screen. 24-hour clock is up. Bitcoin's at $7,228.41, down 2.81%. Ethereum's at $145.40, down 1.71%. Ripple's at 22 cents, down 2.39%. Bcash, $205, down 1.62%. Litecoin at $43.92, down 1.71%. And EOS at $2.61, down 2.03%. Everything is in the red today, as you can see, or at least the top coins are. Oh yeah, it looks like everything as I scroll down. Ooh, here's some names I haven't seen in a while. IOTA is down here, 19 cents. NEO, wow, NEO hasn't been at $8.51 since its first parabolic rise back in May, June, July of 2017. But you remember NEO went up to, I think, at its high about $84 or something like that. So a lot of room for growth there. Dash has slipped, of course. Ethereum Classic, $3.76. NIM at 3 cents. Dogecoin is still less than a penny, people. Great community around that coin as well. So a lot of great buys for some of these coins if you still believe in them. Stellar is at 5 cents. A lot of great buys or great investments if you believe in them long term, of course. A couple of quick shout outs. What's going on? Shannon Allen, Crypto and Culture, Tony Nolly. Oh yeah, for sure. Wearing this cryptic coin jacket from Shannon Allen. Speaking of which, Shannon, there was actually a question for you in the cryptic coin project as well that I will bring up in a moment. What's going on, Evan? John Phillip, hugging the blockchain, talking about Voorhees got a hack. I guess anybody can get it. Tragic. Yes. We'll get on that in a second. Real quick, Shannon Allen, question for you. Erica Beach asks, do I download the cryptic coin wallet on my computer, and what is the difference between the T and Z address? So if you can answer that in the comments, I will go ahead and say it out loud as well. I'll send that to the comment section as well. But yeah, enough of the chatter. Top story of the day. That is right. If Eric Voorhees can get it, people, anybody can literally get hacked out there. Hackers can jack Shapeshift's crypto wallets in 15 minutes is being reported by Kraken. It looks like KRBE, which is basically the wallet that they use, has a new vulnerability to deal with. And this photo is hilarious. It looks like someone at Shapeshift about to cry or whatever. Looks like cybersecurity researchers have disclosed a glaring vulnerability in the KRBE cryptocurrency hardware wallet that allows physical attackers to steal funds in just 15 minutes. Kraken Security Labs' latest blog details a voltage glitching attack that extracts the encrypted seed used to access cryptocurrency stored on the device. An attacker can then brute force the encrypted seed as it's simply protected by a 1 to 9 digit PIN, which the firm described as trivial. They said worse still, researchers warned that fixing the flaw is not an easy feat. The KRBE team reportedly can't do anything about it without redesigning the hardware. They say the attack takes advantage of inherent flaws within the microcontroller that is used in KRBE, and that's from Kraken Security Labs again. Now, of course, the biggest issue with this is that KRBE is what they use over at Shapeshift. That is that's their wallet service that they give out to people that they use. The one I've been talking about the last few weeks when we've been talking about wallets and mobile wallets. I said Shapeshift, albeit a bit expensive than the other wallets, it has been a good wallet. It's worked. It's done a good job, but it looks like I'm gonna have to move my little 20-30 bucks off of that. Again, this is my mobile wallet, so I just keep a few dollars on there, but it looks like they can be hit. And again, the founder of this wallet, Eric Voorhees. I mean, he is one of the OGs of OGs in cryptocurrency. He's been around since the beginning, just about. He's been an investor. Again, he's had his own wallet out there. So it's unfortunate to see his company getting hacked out of them all out there, even though, again, he charges a lot. But to see him getting hacked, as someone said, if he can get it, anyone out there can get it. So this is quite unfortunate. I'm trying to find in the article where they actually point out Shapeshifts as well. They also say, although much of the original KeepKey code base is based on the Trezor one, their code bases have already diverged. So it looks like they've already made different mitigation mechanisms in there to ensure that they don't get hacked. But yeah, the one that Shapeshift uses is still in there, unfortunately. And it looks like that vulnerability is still inherent, and it takes 15 whole minutes. That's crazy. This is a crazy story to see. Again, that's a Shapeshift wallet, so if you have a lot of money on there, it may be about time for you to move it. Tiffany from New York, what's going on? Crypto and culture. No, you weren't first, but I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to let you have it. Christopher Ladd said, just got a Keep wallet in the mail. Shaking my head. Yeah, I'm sure after this story breaks, if it's a solid company, they'll refund the money, but I would definitely try to send that back and just say, hey, after this news, I don't want the product anymore. What's going on, Tessa Hall? Shannon Allen says Z is a private address. T is a public address. If she has an Android phone, she can get the Android wallet and I can send her crypt to her address. There we go. For sure. All right. This is crazy. Shapeshift, again, I'm sure we're going to hear more about this on Twitter throughout the day. This voltage glitching attack that takes 15 minutes. You can read more about it on the Next Web, and I know it's also on BTC News as well. LedgerX places founders on leave following public CFTC woes. What? The board of directors of Ledger Holdings Incorporated, parent company to LedgerX, announced that co-founders Paul and Julika Chow has been placed on administrative leave effective immediately. In a December 9th press release, the Bitcoin derivatives exchange LedgerX explained that the two executives will be replaced by Larry E. Thompson as interim chief executive officer and lead director of Ledger Holdings. Thompson, they say, brings with him the experience of a 30-year career on Wall Street. You got to watch out for these 30-year career people on Wall Street. This may have been what do they call it when they force you out? A brute force attack on the corporate side of things. They might have just forced them out. This guy's already plugged into Wall Street. Look, it's crypto people. You always have to be suspicious. They say right now it's unclear why the board of directors have decided to replace both executives or place them on administrative leave. However, Julika Chu took to Twitter where she said that no real reasons have been given except they had long-lasting disagreements with the board about the vision and the direction of the business. Of course, some of that's coming from the CFTC and the pressure they have put on the business since August when, of course, LedgerX came out and said that they can now physically settle Bitcoin future products. And then, of course, the CFTC and some of their representatives came out and said that wasn't true. They're not sure what LedgerX was talking about. And that caused a whole stir with their launch from LedgerX because people are saying, you are saying you can offer something, the government's saying you can't. Which way do we turn? With that, whether it was true or not, I actually give props to LedgerX on that because that's the way you do it. Just stand up. I mean, they stood up and said, listen, we have a product. It's not illegal. We're just first to market, and some of Wall Street's and the other regulators' friends who are trying to catch up to us, who don't even have a product yet, they're stalling us out so they can catch up. Instead of letting that happen, we're just going to launch. We're not morally hurting anybody. We're trying to launch a futures product and physically settle Bitcoin futures product on the market or whatever, right? CFTC pushed back on that. LedgerX tried to move forward. It looks like that had been the long stem controversy that may have caused the administrative leave of the two executives as of now. But again, this kind of goes back to what I just said about the 30-year guy on Wall Street working with the CFTC as a joke, but you never know. But we're seeing this now where we see him backed all of a sudden getting these hall slips, permission slips, as I said, where they're getting the hall pass to say, okay, we have these physically settled Bitcoin futures or options products on the market now. You're seeing a couple of other companies do the same thing that's following in their footsteps, but some of the companies who are there first aren't getting that same shake. So again, it's crazy to see LedgerX hadn't been able to do this back in August, but we're seeing Bakkt move forward with all of their products right now. So again, kind of goes to show with the bias that's going to be shown. I think that will be shown with Bakkt CEO now becoming a U.S. senator. I mean, you literally just open up the book for her to have a lot more freedom and autonomy with her company than I'm sure she would have had otherwise. So that's the issue with it, people. But this is crypto. What's going on, Dexter Hans Sr.? Tony Nolly, yeah, hostile takeover. That is the word I was looking for. I wouldn't doubt it was a hostile takeover. Look, you already have a product going. You have the infrastructure. You're a crypto company. Look, these Wall Street people not about to wait around or try to buy you out. I mean, they can get somebody in there, push them up through the ranks, and just take over the whole company. Then why not? Right. Yep. CFTC basically was like, yeah, if you're not already wealthy, we don't want any more new people. What's going on, Robert C? All right. JP Morgan Blockchain Payments Network eyes January Japan launch. That is right. It is officially here, people. JP Morgan's Chase blockchain payments platform looks to be expanding to Japan and soon. Looks like they're launching for its Interbank Information Network, the IIN, in the East Asian nation, possibly in January. Executive Director Daizaburo Senai told Bloomberg in a report on Monday. It's built on their Quorum blockchain, a permissioned blockchain, which I am glad this article got right. A permissioned blockchain. So just like having an intranet, not an internet, built on Quorum, a permissioned blockchain based on Ethereum and developed by JP Morgan. IIN is designed to enable member banks to exchange information in real time, allowing them to verify a payment that has been approved. This, the bank says, help reduce friction in international payments and ultimately leads to faster processing times. Now, want to give a shout out to JP Morgan Quorum at least for doing this. Now this is what's going to suck for Ripple, people. This is what Ripple is designed to do. This is, their selling point that, hey, we're working with big institutions and banks. Now, if JP Morgan go ahead and, and push this forward, which it looks like they're going to do, and it works for them, which I don't see why it would not, Ripple is going to be in some trouble. We said it back in 2017, Ripple probably had about 3 to 5 years to it. And it looked like we may be closing in on that 3 to 5 years. I mean, 2020, that's 3. And here are the banks already saying, hey, we can just develop this product ourselves, keep more money ourselves, have control of all our money without any external influence or any external companies. Now, of course, I don't think this will catch hold when it comes to the masses because hopefully people will see this as being something for the banks and for the institutions, not for everyone, since it's permission, as they say. But this could be a good thing for banks. It will be more efficient. It will help them verify payments in real time. And I don't know about you, but I mean, the fact that someone writes a check to you or whatever, or you have to write checks, which people still do, and it takes, anywhere from 4 to 6 business days for that thing to really clear out through the accounts on both ends because of the way the banks process checks to this day. So for them to have their own blockchain, even if they're going to play with it, I think is good. Hopefully they will start to reduce payments on everyone else, all their end customers as of now, their end users. Or who knows, when it comes to banks, they might say, hey, since we had to invest in developing this new technology, you all pay for it on the back end. But what's even more interesting is how they push this toward the money laundering side of things. They said the system is also a way of reducing the risk of money laundering, which is why over 80 Japanese banks have expressed an interest in joining IIN, Senai said. Now, this is pretty funny to me when they say it has a way of reducing the risk of money laundering. By and large, blockchains do have a great way of reducing the risk of money laundering because you can see who the money goes to and from, right? But to be frank with JP Morgan, I mean, it's not reducing the risk. You already know who's doing the money laundering. I mean, you guys got caught with $1 billion shipment of cocaine and disappeared. So I get what they're trying to say for the press, but you all already know who your money launderers are. But for Japan, on the other hand, this is an important point to make because Japan has been under pressure to up its anti-money laundering game since the Financial Action Task Force, quote, found numerous and serious deficiencies in 2014. So just want to point out the money game that Wall Street is running. As we saw the hostile takeover, you basically have a JP Morgan, which is on Wall Street. Of course, you have the Financial Action Task Force, which is also right there on Wall Street. I wonder who really funds a lot of their bills, right? and you have them going after Japan for anti-money laundering laws, which we've seen how they use that phrase in the crypto space, basically whenever they want to pressure a company. So they're going after Japan banks for that. And of course, who comes to the rescue just in time? An American company right next to the building of the Financial Action Task Force, none other than America's biggest bank, JP Morgan, with a blockchain solution for you all in Japan to go ahead and begin using. And if this isn't the biggest get down or lay down I've ever seen, people, it is crazy. I mean, this is gang to the fullest. You have your proxies go out there, put a pressure on them like, hey, you guys aren't following the rules we made over here in our country that you need to abide by. And then we come with the company right next to it and say, hey, we have this beautiful product solution for you. So shout out to American business doing what we do best, being capitalists. I love it. BNY Mellon and Credit Suisse involved in Telegram's $1.7 billion sale. That is right. If you remember when Telegram first said they were having an ICO, literally overnight, they were like, okay, we're good to go. I think they had like 9 investors the first day and then 18 total for that $1.7 billion ICO basically. And of course, since then, we know our government regulators have been putting the pressure on them to close the sale, which they have not done. We'll get more into that. But it looks like those names have been released. I mean, you can't keep anything private when it comes to money. This is one of those examples. Someone found a list of names and they pushed them out to the press. 2 global financial giants, BNY Mellon and Credit Suisse, were reportedly involved in Telegram's $1.7 billion Gram token sale in 2018. Now, it's actually, while, if I was an institution or a person, I really wouldn't want my name out there for this because they were trying to keep it under wraps. But the good thing is, as a community, we get to see who are these big investors and who's actually investing in crypto, even though they're not saying it. And one of the things that we kind of guessed, we were saying that, hey, there may be some wealthy individuals that donated. We were thinking, possibly some oligarchs here and there, since Telegram does come from Russia, possibly some billionaires in the U.S., but I did not expect so many institutions to be on this list. I mean, this is a list of institutions for the most part. Telegram allegedly informed its investors that it was using BNY Mellon and Credit Suisse to move and store fiat currency raised in the Gram sale, industry publication CoinDesk reported, citing court filings released on December 10th. So this is literally hot off the press. This is pretty interesting. Some of the other names that they also had. Again, this is just the message that they provided to their investors. We will receive the funds through BNY, which will forward the funds to CS Suisse AG for final credit to Credit Suisse AG. Some of the other names were venture capital firm Kleiner Perkins, which poured in $30 million. Lightspeed Ventures, Chinese wing Lightspeed China invested $25 million, and FBG Capital invested $10 million. And then, of course, it looks like California-based fund managed by Elysium Ventures reportedly invested $12 million. Let's see. Foursquare co-founder Naveen Selavidari, WordPress founding developer Matt Mullenweg. Oh, wow, that's a pretty big one. WordPress founding developer. I've seen his name on GitHub a few times, GitLabs and all that. Yelp CEO Jeremy Stoppelman, True Ventures partner Malik, former TechCrunch co-editor-in-chief Alexia Bonastos, as well as fashion tycoon Silas Chow. So again, there was a healthy mix of institutional investors as far as entire organizations as well as individual ones. But again, these are the things where you talk about which one, Kleiner Perkins, the venture capital firm. If they invested $30 million into that, look at some of the subsidiary companies that they represent, or ancillary companies that they work with and represent. That means those companies, whether they know it or not, invested in it too. So this is a good thing, because when we talk about banks or some of these bigger institutions that may be putting out FUD pieces about cryptocurrency, about how they don't believe in it, we're talking about looking at the Warren Buffetts. Well, looking at some of these people who invested, I find it very hard to believe that none of that money, you talk about some of these tech companies, none of that money goes into the same pot as some of Warren Buffett's investments on Wall Street, right? A lot of these pots mix, so a lot more people are involved in cryptocurrency, whether they know it or not. So it's pretty cool to see BNY and Credit Suisse involved as well, because that debunks the whole bank theory when it comes to cryptocurrency as a whole. What's going on, PFC Wells? Welcome, Trap. Last but not least, great news story. Ticketmaster wants to use smart contracts to support millions of token sales. That's right. Speaking at Elevate Con in Las Vegas on December 9th, Ticketmaster's Vice President of Blockchain Products, Sandy Kahn, discussed the value smart contracts can bring to the ticketing industry, a market expected to reach over $6.23 billion by 2025. Looks like they wanted to emphasize the notion that ticket providers should consider treating tickets like smart contracts in order to create scalability, seamless integration with other service providers, and extensibility for new revenue opportunities. Their goal, that she said, is to support, and I think she said is their support 400 to 500 million tickets using smart contracts and blockchain technology. I mean, hand clap for this, people. I think this is where smart contracts can almost immediately shine at. And it could be a good test to the market reception as far as the users, how people will, the user interface, how it's going to look, how does it work as far as people buying tickets, reselling tickets, or any of that. And then as far on the crypto side, for whatever smart contract platform they use, we can see what type of scale the network has. What type of congestion will it face? Will it face any congestion? Can it handle 400 to 500 million smart contracts and tickets being sold? They also mentioned with those smart contracts, one of the problems that Ticketmaster and the likes have, I'm sure StubHub can benefit too. One of the issues that they have is that people will buy the tickets for $150. They'll try to resell them for 3 to 4 times the price. They're saying that, hey, if we put all this on the blockchain, use smart contracts for these tickets, then they won't be able to do that. If anything, they only will be able to resell a ticket or transfer a ticket up to one time, possibly only to that same dollar value or lower. So that would actually be pretty interesting to see. That would, pretty much destroy the black market on tickets as far as, reselling of tickets. So interesting to see. I think, again, it could be a good use case, actually makes sense. They can use it. And then, of course, on the crypto side or on the blockchain side, we can actually stress test the network in a way that doesn't destroy the entire planet or the financial system, whatever you may have if it goes wrong, right? All right, folks. Other than that, make sure you smash that like and share. That is the show for today. And, of course, I will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. And you can also, of course, listen to us on our podcast, Spotify, iTunes, Radio, iHeart Radio, and I am missing one, Google Play Music. Cheers.